Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Verene, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ink Thoughts podcast. So it's been, I think we have been taking some breaks in our recording, and so yeah. So anything new that you'd like to share with the audience about the week?
Not really, nothing that I want to share. Just I'm not feeling well, so I don't really want to share anything.
Alright, okay, so maybe I'll just share a little bit from what we've done for the past 1 week. So yeah, on last Monday, we actually went bouldering with our friends, which is something that I've never tried before, which is quite an interesting thing for me to go through. Yeah, so yeah, looking forward for to more sessions that is yet to come. Yeah, and then so 2 days ago it was actually St. Patrick's Day, and so we kind of did a crazy thing, which we went to. Is it a bar or pub? Yeah. Then we kind of study there, do our own stuff, and yeah, while everyone around us are actually drinking, talking, and have fun. Yeah, but it was quite a good experience. So yeah. So I guess we don't really have much to share other than that. So let's go into our topic today, which is about loneliness. So it is actually a topic that I come up with, and I forget what actually inspired me, but I think loneliness can be seen from a few different perspectives. Yeah, so have you ever had a moment that you feel like you're really, really, really lonely?
Definitely there is, and I don't know. I mean, pretty much for the whole of my life. I mean, I kind of felt that because when I'm born, I've been the only child in my family until I'm 8. Then my sister came out, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe that just made it into, I don't know, a thing that I felt lonely because I spent time alone, and then after that, yeah, I never felt that I fit into the society. I guess that's why I felt lonely. I don't know.
So like you said, throughout your life, it's actually quite lonely for you. Do you think you are someone that actually, you're able to deal with the loneliness, or you just not really able to, so you just kind of like suppress it?
I'm not sure if I'm suppressing it or I dealt with it. I'm not very sure. I don't know. I guess I did. I assume I am dealing with it well. I don't know, but could be suppressing. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, for me, I'll say I used to be someone that is super, super afraid of being lonely. Yeah, I just can't stand being alone in the past, as the very how do I say this? Okay, so one of the example that I can give is actually I remember it was during my primary school. So yeah, it is the first year of primary school, and it's just the very beginning of those classes and all. So I have this one best friend. Yeah, just one. So I remember there was one day that before because we are on afternoon session for our class. So before going into our classes, we have to queue up at a certain place, and yeah. So I remember during that day, I was kind of like waiting. Oh yeah, why is she not here yet? Because usually she come a bit later. Yeah. So I'm like, why is she not here yet? So I'm waiting, and until that moment that we need to move to our classes, that I realized that, oh yeah, she's probably not coming today. Yeah, so I don't know why, but that day itself just turned into a very bad one for me. So in classroom, of course, there's no problem because you're just focusing on the classes and everything. But during the recess time, yeah, I remember I don't have anyone um, to to spend my time with. So I have I because usually I bring my bread and everything that my mom prepared for me, so I bring it together with me and went to the canteen. And because canteen is like so crowded, so I decided not to be there. So I find somewhere else that is less crowded because I just feel so weird and all, like being alone. And yeah, so I remember when I was eating, yeah, my tears just dropped. Like I don't know why. Yeah. So after that, I can't really finish my food that time because I just feel so emotional and all. So yeah, I quickly finish up whatever that I can during that moment. Then I went back to the class. That day itself become a very strong memory for me. It just keep reminding me like why can't I just stand with this loneliness at some point. Yeah. But slowly when I grow up, I've learned that I guess there's this saying like we have to bear with loneliness in order to be kind of like success or something, because people will not always be there for you. Sometimes you just have to go through things yourself. And yeah, so and I dislike the point that I can't be doing stuff on my own in the past. So I'll say during secondary school time, I slowly try to improve on that. And yeah, so but this one thing that I find it quite interesting is that have you ever experienced any moment like you're actually surrounded by people, but deep inside you're actually feeling lonely?
Definitely a lot of times, because I don't know, I just find that people's I don't know, I dislike many things that people talk about, like gossip. They talk about bad stuff. They have to, I don't know, like when people just speak in public, there is not much in the point of the conversation, because like whatever they're saying doesn't contribute much. I don't know, it's not something that I think is worth talking about. So I would rather have a meaningful conversation. And then when I'm in most of the crowds, when you listen to people talking, they just be like, why do I have to gossip? Why do I have to talk about all this kind of stuff which has no meaning? Like, you're not learning anything. So yeah, I just feel lonely in many moments like those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see your point from there. And yeah, sometimes when those people are not kind of like the right one for us, it just makes us kind of magnify that loneliness that we're actually experiencing as well, right? Yeah. um, I'll say I'm quite lucky that most of my friends, I don't have that much of those feelings. But yeah, of course there is always some of the time that we kind of experience that. And that just kind of reminds us like, maybe those people are just not the right person for us to talk to share our life with and everything. Yeah. But when you're experiencing that, do you tend to do something about it, or you just let it go?
Well, many times in the past I just fake through it, but I don't enjoy it. It's like it is draining a lot of my social energy for like no purpose actually. I just fake through it. Yeah, but I don't know. Then it happens sometimes. I just avoid those scenarios because I just dislike what they are saying. I don't know, but I am tired because I don't know, at least from my knowledge, like that all this kind of stuff is part of life, and then you have to go through it, and then you're not comfortable about it, but then you still have to go through it. Yeah.
Yeah, the faking yourself through that part is really, really tiring. Sometimes when you think about it, like, why do I even need to do that, right? Yeah. So when we talk about loneliness, sometimes people like to say, especially when we are kind of like growing up, that time people like to say like, successful people are always lonely when they're younger or something. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll say maybe from those kind of like examples or people that they are referring to, yeah, maybe they don't really have much, and I mean they know what they are doing and they have something that they want to do, so they spend more time on that instead of just trying to fit into the society around them. Yeah, so maybe that's the reason that led them to their success. But of course, that's always good and bad part of everything. So sometimes we kind of like just choose to focus on the positive part, but yeah, maybe being lonely in the long term could be very unhealthy in terms of our mental health, because yeah, when you are too socially isolated, you tend to ruminate a lot more, and yeah, that negative feeling just impact you a lot more. Yeah, so if there's a way to find a balance between both, yeah, that would be great. Like you still spend some time with people that actually people that you like to, yeah, and also leave some time for yourself. Yeah. So when we talk about spending time with ourselves, how do you feel about this?
I think, yeah, it's important to spend time with ourselves. Yeah.
Do you enjoy the process of spending time with yourself?
I used to enjoy, but I guess right now, like recently, I've been a bit lost on even how do I spend time with myself. I don't know how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not sure, because many of those people nowadays, they like to talk about you have to spend time with yourself so that you have the time to improve on yourself. Yeah, do every kind of stuff, like maybe reading or join a class or something like this. So you just kind of like fill in your time and spend those time with yourself and try to become a better you. But sometimes I guess people might have forgotten, like, yeah, spending time with ourselves. Of course, it would be great that if we utilize that time to make ourselves into a better us. But of course, sometimes we might have forgotten, like, you still need some space to do some self-care and listen to yourself, or kind of like thought through your ideas, your thoughts, or something that is actually making you feeling worried and all. Yeah, try to figure things out. Yeah, kind of like instead of just try to fill in all the time, you spend a bit of the time listening to yourself, like what you actually want, and is there something that's making you uncomfortable? Like, is there anything that you can do to change that, or yeah, something like this. Any thoughts to add on? So when we talk about loneliness, people always associate this with negative impression. What is your thoughts on this? Like, are you also like associating with this with a negative impression, or?
I don't know. Loneliness, I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll say sometimes it still kind of like depends on how we are looking at it. Yeah, of course, most of the time when we perceive the word loneliness, it's more on the negative side, and we kind of feel sad, feel uncomfortable with it. But sometimes like the time that you're able to spend with yourself and all, yeah, that might be something that is actually positive. Yeah, So yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on this. Yeah. Okay, so would you say you're actually feeling lonely at this point of your life as well?
Yeah, quite. I don't know. Just I can't find someone that really understands me. Yeah.
So I guess that's one of the reasons that's making you feeling unwell as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'll say if I have to kind of like rate it, maybe I'm at a 6 or 7. Yeah, not to say like I'm feeling very lonely, but I'm also at a point that is trying to figure myself out and also trying to understand myself more. Yeah, a lot of the things when we're thinking about it is actually more on understanding ourselves, so that we know what we're actually trying to look for, or else we're just like trying to figure things out directionless, which eventually might makes us feel even more confused and even more lonely at the end of the day. So yeah. Is there anything that you'd like to add for this topic today? Alright. Then I guess that's what we have to share today about loneliness. Yeah, it's not a very long episode. Yeah, we don't really spend much time talking about our life at the beginning of the podcast like we used to do. Yeah, because we don't have much to share today. Yeah, so if you have any thoughts on loneliness or anything that you agree or disagree, just feel free to drop us a message or comment down below on maybe YouTube videos or on our social media. And if you have anything else that you'd like to share with us or any feedback for us, just feel free to do so or email us to us as well. I guess that's the end for today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.